First thing I just want to say is thank you to the ownership, Masai, Bobby, for bringing me in. I'm excited. I've watched this team become special over the last few years, and I'm excited to be a part of this situation and continue to be able to grow with them. And for all the support I've gotten from my family, my wife's here with me through this journey. She's moving again, but we're moving to a great place, a great city, and a great fan base. That's one of the things I've been able to see over the years. Is the people here love basketball, and they've been fantastic. So I'm excited.
Questions? We've seen the league change so much in the last, well, all the time you've been in it. Three-point shooting is at such a premium now. How does that suit what you could bring to this team?
It's basically giving me, I don't want to say a new life, but giving me, greater opportunities to be able to play this game, to be able to hone in on that, and that to be one of the things to make my niche on a team and allow me to be a weapon, a greater weapon on the team. And it's been, it's been exciting to watch. I mean, obviously there's nights, there's some days people don't want to be in the gym to see some of the bad shooting nights people have, but it's been great. And it allows the tempo and the scoring and everything fans want to see. But also, it's a great weapon to have on a basketball team. You're talking about 3 possessions being a 10-point run.
CJ, on that same idea, you look at your career and came out straight out of high school and maybe were a fairly average shooter through the first 7, 8, 9 years, and then the last 5 years you've been one of the elite shooters in the league. How did that switch flip?
One of the biggest things is maturity, just as far as the way you approach the game and the way you're able to work on certain things, and then just the freedom to be able to do so at a higher level, being having the challenge put in front of you of something that you wanted to add to the team and something they felt like a coach or the staff felt like I could do. And I took on the challenge to become even a better shooter. I think one of the first people that said something to me about it was Mike Brown. When I was in Cleveland, we talked about it one day. We sat down and he said, for as well as you can shoot it, I feel like you don't shoot enough. And that's from a three-point standpoint. In the game and even the way you work on your game. You're always in the gym, but I don't see you really honing in on working on that with it being such a weapon that we could have and that you have. And I've accepted that challenge, and I've taken so much pride in it over time, and I've been able to, use it to my advantage, obviously, and to my team's advantage to be able to help them.
CJ, so much of what Masai told us before the offseason was about a culture change here in Toronto. There are a lot of pieces that we've seen before. Obviously, Serge will get time to grow with Lamar and Kyle, and now yourself. But you're the new piece here. What was Masai's message to you?
The first thing was being myself, being who I've been, the team first player, willing to do whatever I'm asked to do. I've played multiple positions. I've been able to just attack the game in such a manner that it's allowed me to blend in with whoever I'm playing with, because I've had the ability to kind of just adjust. And his biggest thing was just continue to bring that selfless mentality is a big part of teams. And not to say that it's not here already. It has to be a winning team. There has to be some type of great culture, some type of selflessness, some type of way that guys follow and press upon each other, hold each other accountable. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I was able to, come to agreements to come here, because I brought that to the table also.
You spoke about maturity with age and experience.
Mm-hmm.
This figures to be one of the youngest teams in the NBA. What have you learned about leadership during your time in the NBA that you can bring to this team both on and off the floor?
The biggest thing is that it doesn't always have to be a show. Like, you don't have to be rah-rah, yelling. People don't have to see you swinging your arms or pointing or grabbing somebody by the back of their jersey or whatever it may be. I think it's just about the way you approach every day, the way you come in, and everybody needs to be spoken to differently. But my biggest thing is the way I approach the game, the way I work at it, the way I want to be able to help my team. And unselfishness is contagious. Guys want to be a part of that. Fun is contagious. Guys want to have fun. Guys want to win. Guys want to win. And the only way you do that is from the latter, being unselfish, being able to do the right things for your basketball team.
Do you have 1 or 2 memories that stick out from that series 2 years ago with the Raptors?
One of the games in our building feeling like we were still on the road. A lot of fans being there. But just the challenge of, competing with these guys. Obviously, DeMar and Kyle being who they are, but how well they play together. how much their bench is into the game. You watch them play, and you see everybody standing up almost on the court for every guy. Every guy cheers for every guy the same amount. Even when DeMar and Kyle are out of the game, they cheer for the same guys the way they cheer for them, and that's fun to be a part of. That encouraging everybody and knowing that you're only as good as the next guy. There's always going to be a time where a guy's going to have to step up and have to be able to play 15 more minutes than he has all season, or a matchup is going to have to make him play a different position to help.
Have you talked to Kyle or?
I actually spoke to them the day that the deal came out, and I spoke to Masai, Kyle, and DeMar, all, and a bunch of coaches, all within an hour and a half. It became official. So, and that was pretty special to me to be able to, speak to them right away, and them to reaching out to me, let me know, how they felt about what they're building, what they're trying to do, and they let me know about it also. And hopefully we get all together in front of each other in person soon.
So going back to the leadership for a second, who did you look to for leadership in your career? Molded you?
One of the biggest things was playing for Jerry Sloan. That was the first coach I had in the NBA, and I tell people all the time it's one of the biggest reasons why I was able to still be here. He instilled so much of that work ethic into the way I approach the game, just that bring your lunch pail type of way, coming in and making sure you do what you're supposed to be doing to help your team and yourself to be better. Playing with Derek Fisher my second year was a big thing, just as far as being a pro and the way he handled himself on and off the floor. And then it was just a collective. I was the youngest guy for 4 years. So, knowing Darren before I got there, and us coming in together in Utah was big. And then Carlos Boozer, Memo Okoro, Matt Harper, and all those guys, that had been in the league and really knew how to carry themselves helped me out a lot. And I was able to just kind of share that knowledge down the road, because when I went to Cleveland, I'm 25, and now I'm the oldest guy on that team. And then getting into Indy, the same type of thing, kind of in the middle of the road. I had those guys had experience, but I was still, as far as age-wise, a couple years older or the same age, and had played a lot of games. So I think my experience has just allowed me to be able to continue to share the knowledge I've been given.
And what was it last year that last year's your best three-point shooting percentage season? What was it that made that? Was it something you did, or was it scheme-wise?
It was a little bit of both. I think just continuing to understand where you can find shots and define the best shots and the best shots that you shoot, and put myself in position to be able to just be on the floor to help my team, improving defensively to be on the floor more, which allowed me to get more shots because I was able to play more and things that way. And then guys, gaining trust in me from over the years, being better and better shooting the basketball, and us needing to have that weapon. And then another thing was, my team came to me. They said they needed me to be the best shooter I had been, and that's another thing. I took the challenge of that also, and that was the way I was going to help my team. So that was the way I went after it.
What's a skill like of punting shots?
The skill like, I think it's a patient. It's being patient, but at the same time being aggressive, knowing, being able to read. Sometimes maybe say in a corner, sometimes those shots may not be a good shot for some guys. They're a little bit better for you with a little bit of a contest, because you have to be aggressive to make guys respect it. Making sure guys can't help, because the biggest thing we talked about also with guys like Kyle and DeMar is that what I can do for them and what they do for me. So the respect factor that I have stepping on the floor and the respect they have on the floor, it's kind of a pick your poison type of thing. Same thing with Serge, same thing with JV, those guys. I never played with two guys in the post on the floor at the same time that garner so much respect. It's kind of, and almost to the point where two guards on the floor at the same time that penetrate and do the things that those guys do. So I think it's just about being a weapon, being a threat, and making sure the defense has to be aware of you at all times. And that's the biggest thing that you can do.
And knowing where to go on the floor and where you're going to get the ball.
Understanding the spacing, understanding the offense to as much as you can, understanding the way guys like to operate so you know how to get into open spaces for their vision. And then also being able to use screens and things like that if a play's actually designed specifically for you. And it's just understanding the game, basically. And that was one of the things that goes back to me coming in Utah with Jerry Sloan. We ran that 1-4 high, that flex, and it taught me how to be without the ball. Because someone in high school, you just have the ball in your hands the whole time. So that was one of the biggest things that helped me a lot as far as becoming a shooter also.
You've been a starter, you've come off the bench. In terms of your role
I feel comfortable winning. So whatever they ask me to do, whatever's going to be the best situation for our team that helps our team go, that's what I'm going to be. And, you know, another thing I always try to say, I don't get paid to make that decision.
In terms of where you like to play in a rotation, like you seem like a guy who can play the 2, 3, or 4, but is there somewhere where you're natural in your home mind?
I mean, I think I'm naturally a wing guy, like a 2-3. I think that's just from that's what I've been my entire life. The power forward, because of the game change, has come the last couple of years. And I think another reason for my success shooting the basketball is being able to learn how to play that position, being able to be in pick and rolls and slip out of pick and rolls, or being able to kind of get to the point where you can guard some of those bigger guys to an extent where they can't just pick on you, and allow me to be on the floor and space the floor even more, and allow me to get more open shots and things like that. So naturally I'm a wing, but as of the last couple of years, it's pretty much just, you know, it's positionless out there. It's playing basketball, and I think that was one of the reasons I was able to make my way through those 3 positions, because I understood what I had to do to be able to do those things and to help my team. And that's the biggest thing it means to me, is helping your team. That's what they need you to do. That's what you do.
As a veteran on a young team, are there things you've learned through your career that can help, you know, a guy like Norman Pollard, DeLon, or some of these younger guys that don't have that background that you've brought to the team?
I think it's just about working and understanding. Like, obviously, guys work hard. They wouldn't be here if they didn't have some type of work ethic. But I think it's about how you go about it, how you work, and the things that you need to be working on for your team and for yourself. But just understanding, always being ready for any type of situation, because you never know what's going to happen in this league, and that's been apparent for a long time. And with the game change, there's teams playing 4 guards, and Miami had 4 guards and James Johnson on the floor last year, playing center. Like that, and James Johnson's what, 6'8"? So you can't have a center. There might be a time you have to put 5 guards on the floor, and guys got to know every position of the offense, got to know every part of the scheme on defense, and being able to do certain things. And I think it's just about studying and taking as much information about the game and your schemes as you can.
CJ, there was some talk, truth or otherwise, about other teams and other interests and talking to other clubs and whatnot. Kind of a two-parter. Why Toronto? And was part of the decision to stay east was so much happening in the Western Conference?
I never thought about the conference thing. That's been a question. People, even like friends, ask me about that in text messages. Are guys really thinking about that because of the sway and the people going back and forth and the guys you have to play? But as far as picking Toronto, of the teams that I spoke to, first of all, winning was humongous to me. I wanted to be able to win. I wanted to be able to come into a situation where I felt like we were going to continue to win and be able to continue to grow. But that was the biggest thing. The culture, like from talking to guys that have been here or been around it, and the coach after I spoke to him, and just from my own eyes, like seeing it from my own eyes, playing against them, competing them, and then coming here and playing in this arena, the amount of energy, the way to Jurassic Park outside the arena, like it's nothing comparable to that at this moment. And I thought that was really special to want to be a part of. I've never been a part of something that massive as far as the fan base and the energy that they bring. We had the best teams probably energy-wise I played on were back in Utah, but it was nothing compared to the amount of people, because you got a whole nation behind you. And I'm excited about that. I mean, we were talking about it yesterday with some of the trainers and things like that. When I was taking physicals, I've never been a part of something this energetic that they bring every night to the building, and even on the road, obviously, because they came down to Indiana.